Hello everyone, it's me, Ginger Banks, and I just realized this morning that it is my 4-year anniversary from getting sober from alcohol. And every time I talk about it on my social media, a lot of people ask me, how I got sober, what inspired me to get sober, and like my journey. So I thought I would finally put it in video form instead of just like a Twitter thread. I don't know, my history with alcohol, I didn't really drink that much in high school. I don't know. But when I did drink, it was because I was super nervous and super anxious to go out to parties. I really wanted people to like me, desperately. And so when I would drink alcohol, it wouldn't make me worry about that as much. So I would be able to have a lot more fun. So that's why I started drinking. I would drink beer mostly, light beer. And then eventually I got into a relationship that was not very healthy. And so to cope with that, I started drinking a lot more frequently, almost daily. Hi, buddy. You can come here if you want. Come lay down. Come. I started drinking every day. Lay down. We're not playing right now. I'm making a video. Sammy, lay down. I don't have any toys. I don't even know what he's looking at. Lay down. So in college, I got into a relationship that ended up not being the healthiest relationship. And to cope with that relationship, I started drinking more frequently. Eventually, I was drinking all the time. I was blacking out. I was cheating on him. I didn't even remember sometimes who I would cheat on him with. So I eventually stopped drinking because of the problems that were happening because of drinking. So I stopped and I was on a trip. I was on a snowboarding and skiing trip. It was the first night I was there, I blacked out again with all of my friends and I was banging my head against the wall or something, I guess. So I decided to stop drinking at the beginning of that trip, which was really hard because all of my friends were it was a fun trip. Everybody was drinking the entire time we were there. And, I think one of the reasons that it was so easy for me to stop drinking is because I still had weed. So it was a lot easier to deal with not drinking alcohol because I could smoke weed. But weed doesn't make you black out and fuck people that you don't remember or you would never have normally fucked. So things like that. Basically weed just doesn't make me regret any decisions that I make because of it. So I stopped drinking on that trip. It was in December or January and I was completely sober. And then it was St. Patrick's Day, my boyfriend at the time, he was you've been doing so well, not drinking, you should have a beer. And so I started drinking at lunch. And then right after I went to the grocery store and I bought more alcohol to go to the pool and drink when I got home. And then it just started a whole year of drinking again, blacking out. And this time it got pretty bad. I was drinking almost 2 bottles of wine a night on average. And I finally decided to stop drinking. It was funny because my boyfriend at the time decided to go on a trip to visit his family. So he was gone when I decided to stop drinking and I still didn't recognize a correlation there. But so I decided since I was drinking 2 bottles of wine a night that I needed to taper off from drinking. So I went to the grocery store and I bought it was a 30-something pack of just really not good light beer. And I wrote out a little schedule to taper off, this many beers this day. Then it was less until I had 1 beer and then none. So that's what I did. And I got sober. I went and I met my boyfriend visiting his family in Hawaii. And I was in Hawaii just the whole time we were there. I didn't drink. His dad drinks Heineken, which is my favorite type of beer. So there was Heineken in the fridge the entire time we were there. And But I was fine. It was for like almost 3 weeks and I didn't drink at all. And on the last day, I was really, really sad to come back to Arizona. And I got into a little fight with my boyfriend. And so I was like, I'm gonna drink this beer. Like just like fighting with him. I don't know what I like expected him to stop me or something. It was stupid. He was just standing there. He's like, what do you want me to do? Which is fine. It's not his fucking responsibility. You know, my sobriety is my responsibility. It's no one else's responsibility. So I drank that Heineken. And then on the plane ride home, I think I drank another Heineken. And then as soon as we landed, I was like, all right, I'm back to being sober. And that was April 14th, 2016. So that was 4 years ago that I finally drank. And for like a lot of the times, whenever I say I'm sober, people are like, but you're not really sober. You smoke weed, you do this, you do that. And so I had like an intense, like I should be sober from weed too. Like I had this expectation. My boyfriend at the time also would like push it on me a lot. And so I like went to therapy. I went to group meetings for weed, even though it wasn't causing any problems in my life, even though, you know, like nothing bad was coming from it. The expectation that I needed to get sober from weed was stressing me out so much. And it ended up like becoming a bigger problem than weed ever was in my life. So recently I finally gave myself permission to smoke weed. And I realized that like, if I want to smoke less weed, it's just something I need to like change my schedule and stuff like that to like give myself, stay busier, like get out of the house more, which is really difficult right now with what's going on. So right now I smoke weed, but I don't drink alcohol, and I'm really happy that I decided to do this. One of the things that helped me get sober at the beginning was this forum on Reddit. I don't know if any of you guys use Reddit, but it's called Stop Drinking, and it's really great. It's just like where you post about your drinking. People will give you like encouragement. They've been through it, you know, stuff like that. I personally, meetings, you know, if you can go to AA meetings and NA meetings and get something out of it, that's great for you. For me, it's not good because I struggle with codependency. That's one of the things I struggle with. And it seems like to me, sometimes going to those meetings is like the opposite goal of what I want to do when it comes to codependency and being independent and sober. It seems like a lot of people their sobriety is completely dependent on going to those meetings or having someone that they can call and be in contact with when they have an urge. And I want to be able to handle that stuff on my own. So there's some other stuff I've done in the past. I think the book is around here somewhere, actually. Where is it? Ooh. One of the things I did do is called SMART. I don't know if this is going to turn around in the video, but this is called SMART Recovery. This is the SMART Recovery Handbook. And what it does is it gives you tools and strategies to help you on your recovery journey, building and maintaining motivation, coping with urges, managing thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, and living a balanced life. And SMART Recovery is basically for anything that you're having a problem struggling with. If it's food, drugs, alcohol, people, you know, any sort of unhealthy behavior. And it gives you skills that you can use in your life forever, whether or not you can make it to an NA meeting, an AA meeting. So I think it's a really helpful thing. I also think that if you're going to try and get sober from something, it's very, very essential, or at least it'll benefit you a lot if you try and heal yourself from just like anything that could have happened in life. Like I think being on a healing journey, going to therapy, just working on yourself in addition to trying to get sober is really important it increases your chances of succeeding is basically all I'm trying to say. So if you want to be successful in your sobriety, I suggest also doing that. And there's a lot of things that you can do on your own that don't require going to a therapist and talking to someone, which I think like it's probably really hard for people right now going through isolation. But there's a great holistic psychologist that I follow on Instagram. I know the word holistic throws a lot of people off, but anything that I participate in for the most part, is evidence-based. So I'm not going to suggest anything to you that isn't evidence-based. So even though her name is holistic, and that I think that word throws people off a lot, she gives some of the most useful healing advice that I've ever seen in my entire life. And yeah, so I think there's a lot of great things. I'm gonna link anything down below in the comments that has benefited me through my healing journey. I'm taking a class at Yale right now. It's called The Science of Wellbeing. It's a free class at Yale. It's free. You guys can take it anytime online, things like that. You know, you need to just generally improve yourself, I think, to be successful in sobriety. So yeah, 4 years. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, I've been planning on making this video for forever, and I wasn't planning on making it today, but you know, it's been 4 years. I just thought it was appropriate to talk about finally. So I'm gonna throw some links down there, you know, like, comment, subscribe. Ooh, YouTube stuff. All right, I have an interview with John Paul the Pope that I am going to go do right now. So I hope you guys all have a great day, great Tuesday. Mwah, 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 mwah. Stay sane, stay safe, cover your face when you leave the house, wash your hands. Germs can still get on the outside of gloves. Listen to the experts. All right, I love you guys. Have a great day. Love. Mwah.